And what's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football. Now, an exciting Merseyside derby on Saturday. Very, very exciting. But the biggest talking point of the whole game was the injury to Virgil van Dijk. He damaged his ACL after a horrendous tackle from Jordan Pickford. Yes, it was horrendous. But one thing I realized is that social media and then the British media seem to blowing it up and made it bigger than what it actually was. Yes, Virgil van Dijk got hurt, but we're acting like this is the first time we've seen a football player get hurt like this before. I'm now seeing rumors of Pickford should be banned for the length of time, but like Van Dijk is out because it's rumored that Van Dijk may be out for the rest of the season. But Jack, how do you feel about this whole incident?
I think you kind of made the point there. It's a ridiculous overreaction. I kind of tweeted about this a little earlier today. I think Mark Bosnich's comments were just ridiculous. The example I use is long ball up from the back. Giorgio Chiellini, Romelu Lukaku go for the same header. Clash of heads. Lukaku has a concussion, has to go off the field. So even though it was completely accidental and there was no intent for Chiellini to hurt Lukaku, now Chiellini has to be out even though he's okay for the same amount of time. It doesn't make any sense. Now, Roy Keane, Alpha Haaland, in that case where Roy Keane is going out to hurt somebody, I think there's a certain argument that you can make where you can go, look, this is not within the spirit of the game. This is not the type of thing that we want to be promoting. A red card is not good enough. A 3-game ban is not good enough. You need to be out the same amount of time. So with the intentional ones, I think it's okay. I don't think Jordan Pickford intentionally tried to hurt Virgil van Dijk. Personally, other people may feel differently about it. And you mentioned before we started recording, that wasn't even the worst challenge in the game, let alone of the weekend, let alone across other leagues. So for me, it's a huge, huge overreaction. I do think that obviously intentional fouls and intentional damage to other players needs to be taken out of the game. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't see it happening all that often. So I don't know why we're talking about it all of a sudden.
My crazy thing on this is that, first of all, let's look at Jordan Pickford. Yes, he did come out, rushed out, and he got a bit crazy there. But the way he spread himself out was a natural goalkeeping position. He just seemed to went out a bit too much force on Virgil van Dijk, but he did everything a goalkeeper would do there. Spread himself, make himself as big as possible. The only thing there that he did was actually lead with his leg, and that's what caught Virgil van Dijk. It's very unfortunate. I don't want to see players go out, especially players like Virgil van Dijk. But in my head, I'm thinking is, what's going into English football? You guys were all about the Terry Butcher, hard tackle, and we get in their faces. But now you see a challenge, and now everyone's all going crazy about it. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of dirty football, and I guarantee you this right now. I can say 95% of footballers do not go out there to hurt other players, especially leave them out for this long. I can guarantee you that's not the case. But me being an Arsenal fan, it takes me back to all these things that happened in the past with Aaron Ramsey, Eduardo, Diaby, and numerous of Arsenal players have been a number of times by managers targeted to go out there and actually not physically hurt Arsenal players. But now it's like a thing where, oh no, you can't. We're trying to erase this game. I'm thinking like, where was the same energy when it was all happening to all these Arsenal players? You know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can understand where you're coming from, because obviously the examples that you'll remember obviously come from your own team. Of course they would. It's only natural. But no, you're absolutely right. I'd say 95 is even a bit bad. I'd say it's 99.999% of players aren't trying to hurt each other. The biggest thing I think to look out for is the reaction of the teammates and the reaction of the players. Virgil van Dijk on social media is talking about how, it's obviously a huge shame, but he'll be back stronger, and with God on his side and all that stuff. And there's absolutely nothing about Jordan Pickford being a dirty player, asking the league to review the situation or anything like this. I think Virgil van Dijk knows that it was Jordan Pickford trying to get to the ball and shut him down, and it wasn't an intent to hurt him. The examples that come to my mind are Nigel de Jong, World Cup final, Xabi Alonso?
Yes, yeah.
Like that kind of stuff has no place in the game. Roy Keane and Haaland, that has no place in the game. Things like that, guys, it's part and parcel of sport. We want these athletes to compete athletically at the top level. And just quickly, I don't want to take up too much time, James, but I wrote a little list of things that would basically be out of the game if this kind of thing that Mark Bosnich is saying came in. Aerial duels for headers, sliding tackles go, bicycle kicks, totally gone. Any sort of physicality in defending and attacking, target man hold-up play is gone. Everything nearly that we love in football just gets totally wiped out, because even if you accidentally hurt somebody, you're then out for the same amount of time that they are.
I think it's absolutely crazy, and I can almost guarantee you that Jordan Pickford has texted Virgil van Dijk up, been on the phone to him and apologized, because I guarantee you he did not mean that. It is what it is. But let's look at it from the different side of it. Virgil van Dijk is now probably going to be out for the rest of the season. Liverpool are champions right now, defending their title. Where does this leave them, not only in the title race, but also in the Champions League?
They're in big trouble. And yes, I'm glad we touched on the fact that, you know, what his challenge means for him and what it means for football. But unfortunately, we do need to jump back into the real world and look at what it means for this current season. Alisson, I believe, is just back in training. But at the moment, you've got a Liverpool team where the starting centre-back partnership will probably be Joe Gomez and Joel Matip with Adrian behind them. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I could probably name 10 to 12 teams with a better centre-back partnership and goalkeeper than Liverpool would have the moment you take out Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. Now, that's scary for Liverpool, and I think they're going to have to start adopting this approach a little more of just trying to outscore teams in kind of a shootout type format of, you know what, we're going to concede 3, but you bet we're going to score 4 or 5, because with that centre-back partnership and that man in goal, I don't know how many goals they're going to concede, and any kind of title challengers that think there are in the league right now, they're going to smell blood a little bit here, because it's Liverpool's best player. I don't think that's too, you know, I don't think that's something.
I'm not even going to argue about that easily.
So they lose their best player. They've probably just got their 3rd or 4th best player back in training in Alisson. Obviously, Mane has come back recently, which is brilliant as well. And obviously, you've still got Thiago in there getting used to things. But yeah, for the other title challenges, they're going to be smelling blood here.
My thing is we may see a change from Jurgen Klopp and his style a little bit. Now, especially against Aston Villa, it was really exposed Liverpool's high line. But the reason why Liverpool play a high line, because they know that they have Virgil van Dijk at the back who can make, who can make all these recovery runs. I'm not saying Matic and Joe Gomez can't do it, but they can't do it to the standard Virgil van Dijk does. He gives not only just the back four confidence, but the rest of the players confidence to go forward. So I won't be surprised if I do see Liverpool's back line drop a little bit deeper right now. I'm saying that they ain't gonna push high, but you're not gonna see them playing that high and like we're gonna see balls coming over the top. I genuinely think that the style for Liverpool right now will change just a little bit, but I honestly believe that they're gonna struggle. And this in by Virgil van Dijk being injured, it's opened up the title race to me massively. We may now see teams like Tottenham get involved. We may now see Manchester United. Jack says Arsenal. Arsenal. Why not? Who else is in it? Obviously, Man City and Chelsea be in it. Because you look at this Liverpool team right now, I believe any one of them teams go against them, they're going to believe that we can go to Anfield and we can definitely get something against that Liverpool side. Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right. I will say though that, you know, this is the kind of thing, it usually goes one way or the other. Usually there's no kind of middle ground of, they keep playing the same level. Usually they really kind of, come together as a team and, we're going to support our guy who has hurt himself at a really critical time of his career. He's being regarded as the best defender in the world right now. There's a European Championship coming up. He's just won, Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. He's, been really on the ascendancy.
UEFA Player of the Year.
Yeah, and you've got a career potentially career-changing, not career-threatening injury, where Virgil van Dijk might come back. We've seen it countless times in countless sports. You can have some sort of ligament damage there, especially in somewhere like your knee, and you can not come back the same. So there's a chance the Liverpool team come together to support their brother, but then there's also a chance that they crumble and go, oh crap, our best player is now not playing anymore. What are we going to do? It'll be very interesting to see Jurgen Klopp is a fantastic manager and an incredible man manager, keeping everybody together and keeping everybody grinding. So let's see what happens. But it does mean that I think, it's funny, you and I have now done 2 videos about like a top 10 or the league predictions. Are Liverpool #1 anymore? I mean, I don't know. Are they?
Well, guys, let me know. Are Liverpool still favourites to win the league? What do you think about the Virgil van Dijk tackle? Should Jordan Pickford be banned for the length of time? Comment down below, guys. Thank you for watching. This is Box to Box Football.